Hey everybody, it's Miranda here with a design team project for the Piece by Piece. It's Beverly's Etsy store, and I had a super fun time creating this box. I've really been into colors lately. Those of you who follow my channel for a long time know I'm usually a grunge lover. So this is grungy, but I also use some colors that I never thought I would use before. And I did a start to finish time lapse on this, and I also did a tutorial on how I created this effect. This is just using hot glue. It's a really fun technique. I've been using this a lot lately. I got the idea off of Pinterest, and it's just been really fun. So I've done quite a few projects using that. But this was just one of those paper mache book boxes from Hobby Lobby. And I used tons of Beverly's beautiful, beautiful trims on here. And I used the Prima, I can't remember which line I used, but I just put that on the back part, some of the Prima paper, and then here where the book part is. So that's the paper I used. I used this black silk ribbon from Beverly's store that is absolutely stunning. This is like the softest ribbon you will ever feel. I love it. She sent us all a Christmas present for the design team, and she had our wheat sprays wrapped in this, and I instantly fell in love with it, and I was like hoarding the little bit that she had wrapped our sprays in, and then when she got them in the store I was super happy. So it's really soft and really just pretty and kind of like luxurious. So you'll see in the start to finish how I created all of this, and I just layered a bunch of the laces. This one I kind of dissected from a bigger piece of lace. And let me grab that one really quickly, y'all, to show you. Okay, this is what the lace looks like. And I just cut off these little triangle shaped like banner pieces of the lace down there. And I put that up there going up, and then over here, and then I added this white flower trim from Beverly's store as well, which is really pretty, and I added some of that here as well. This is a big, it's not a door handle, but I had it in with my knobs, so it's just a big vintage piece of metal that I do believe my friend Linda sent me this, so thank you, Linda. She's on the design team as well. I think she sent me that. So it was metal, and it was kind of like a brass color, which didn't really mesh well, so I went over it with some gesso and kind of sanded it down and did a little bit of streaking of black ink on there just to make it really grungy and pretty. So that's going all the way up the side there. And then when the book is standing up, this kind of keeps it propped backwards instead of being like straight up, which I really like. So I put that there. This is a Prima spray, and again, I used to dye these flowers a different color, but I'm really into like this yellowish orange tint right now, kind of mustardy, I guess. So I put that there and just whitewashed everything. I have a little tea time flower poking out over here, and then a little clock piece over here. These are from Beverly's store, which I love. They're heart-shaped resin pieces, and this one was a pink tone, and I just went over it with a little bit of gesso just to kind of make it blend in a little better. This is some more of that silk ribbon, and this is in the yellow tone, and I did cut it in half. You see how thick it is over there, so I just took a piece of the ribbon and cut it in half to make it smaller to fit down there, and I just kind of glued the ribbon down into the areas that I liked, kind of going over there and stuff. I used a ton of sprays on the background here. I don't remember which ones I used off the top of my head, but in the start to finish time-lapse part of this video, you guys can see the ones that I used. And then on the side here, I couldn't decide if I wanted to put lace or if I wanted to lace it up. I always usually lace up the sides of my book boxes. It's just a habit of mine. I love like corset lacing, and I couldn't decide if I wanted to do it. And then all of a sudden I held the lace up to it, and I was like, wait a minute, and I held the other one up there, and it was perfect for my holes to go ahead and lace it up. So I played with different ribbons from Beverly's store, and then I actually ended up using chain to lace it up because I really liked the way that that looked. So this is that beautiful trim from Beverly's store. This was from her last release. I love this trim so much, one of my favorite ones. I actually ordered some more from her because I loved it so much, and I've been making earrings out of it too. So it's really pretty. So just adhered those down there, and then used a chain here to go in and out of the little circles that it already had for me, and just laced it up with some chain, and I just left a little dangle here on the bottom piece of it. And then you can see all the sprays in the background there too. So that's my favorite part of this. I really like how that came out. That lace was just perfect for that. But this is my book box, and I hope you guys like it. It's going to a very special friend of mine, and I'm going to go into the time-lapse tutorial now, or the tutorial part first, and then it'll go into a time-lapse of me just finishing up the rest of it. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you have any questions at all, just leave me a comment down below, and I hope you all have a blessed weekend. Bye! Hey everybody, so I'm here today to do a tutorial. My goal for the new year is to share more tutorials with y'all. So on the love letters that y'all saw me do, one of the techniques I did was I made my own little like embossed raised areas using hot glue. Now on this one I did go in with metal foil tape and cover the whole thing, and I'm not going to do that this time, but I am going to show you just how easy it is to do this. And then, I mean, if you guys want to do the same process and do the metal foil tape, I'm sure everybody knows how to do that. It's really easy. You just cut little squares of the metal foil tape and then place them down on top of it and just rub it, burnish it with your finger down into the areas. So I'm just going to show you how easy it is though to do this technique. My friend at Swirly Doos, Miss Ray, had also done this with glossy accents, and she used a stamp. So if you have like any cool stamps, I was thinking of doing this one, any cool stamps in your stash, really swirly flourished ones, you can stamp these down all over, get the you know, the whole thing covered how you wanted to, and then go in with your glue if you wanted to use glossy accents or hot glue and just follow those lines. For this one I simply free-handed all of this. I really liked this look, so what I did is I just used a Sharpie and just free-handed all of these little designs on there. So I'm going to do kind of the same thing, I do believe, on here. And I don't have any divided sections, so I need to figure out, sorry y'all, need to figure out exactly where I want to start my little teardrop type shapes at. And I think I'm going to kind of start them going up like that and then down there, I think. Probably should have thought this out a little bit before. Yeah, okay. So all you do is just draw the design that you want. Again, I am just free-handing all of this. And that one's going to be where everything's going to stem off of. It's just one big like teardrop shape. Okay, and then I'm going to go down here. And do another one. So again, you can see if you're not good at freehanding or you don't want to freehand, just find a cool stamp that you have in your stash and stamp that all the way around the surface that you want to do. By the way, this is a paper mache book box. So I'm going to speed it up a little bit now until I finish this part. Okay, now that I've got my stencil drawn out the way I like it, I did color this one in because I want to do a smaller one there and a smaller one and a smaller one instead of that big one that I had originally done. So even though this looks like crap right now, this will all be primed and painted over once you do it. So I went ahead and grabbed a couple of glue sticks because I know I'm going to go through them. And again, if you want to use glossy accents, I did try this with Aleene's Tacky Glue, which is when I originally saw this pin on Pinterest for this idea. They had said they used Aleene's Tacky Glue. It did not work for me. I know Elmer's glue will not work either, so it needs to be glossy accents or hot glue, something dimensional, puffy paint maybe even, I'm not quite sure. But I think the glossy accents you would get a smoother area, but I'm not going for perfection, so I'm just going to use hot glue. So you're just going to trace over your lines with hot glue basically. And again, it's not going to be perfect ever, but once you have it all painted and misted and everything all done, you're not going to notice any little imperfections. So okay, so just take your time. I go really slow when I do this and follow all of your lines with hot glue. You can see it there. And then if you want, as you're going, you can kind of go in with your thumb and kind of make it perfectly rounded. I did that a lot when I did my other one, just kind of went in when it was still hot and just kind of perfected everything a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to speed it up as I do the rest of it. Okay, so I've gone ahead and filled in all of my little markings with the hot glue, as you can see, and nothing is perfect. I do try to go in and even it up a little bit as I go, and you're going to have a ton of glue strings when you're done. So I went ahead and picked the ones off that I could, and then also if you just want to heat set it for a few minutes, it will get, or a few seconds, it'll get rid of all those little baby glue strings. Okay, so that took care of all of the glue strings, as you can see. So now I'm just going to use gesso to paint it, just white gesso. And then when we go in with our mist, that will give us all the beautiful colorings and stuff. Okay, I've got the whole thing primed. I am going to cover this part with paper, so I didn't cover it too much. I'm going to cover the back with paper too, so don't worry about it, but I've got the inside ready. Paper there. And then this is all, I did 3 coats of it on there to get the hot glue covered up completely. So now we're going to go with our spraying, and I'm just going to use a bunch of different colors, different brands, no particular certain ones. This is going to be the Tattered Angels Chalkboard Glimmer Mist from Discount Paper Crafts. This is the Black Magic from Discount Paper Crafts. I'm going to use Shimmers and Abominable Blue, Lindy Stamp Gang, and Opal Sea Oats. Love this color. Okay, so I'm just going to start with my lighter colors first, and I like to do that and then build up to my darker ones. Give it a good shake. Okay. And I'm just going randomly. And I did remove my background that I was working on, so I can use my glass when I spray, and it cleans up really, really easily. And then when you let it drip, it kind of puddles up in those little raised areas and creates a really pretty effect. And I do like to dry in between my layers of sprays, so that way they don't mix together and get all muddy. They're like defined colors, so just a little tip, I'm going to dry in between each one. Okay, I've got my first layer dried on there, so you can see it's just a really subtle beigeish, goldish kind of color. So it's on there, and then on these sides. And I'm going to go in with my Well Watch Blue, I do believe. And I've got Cocoa Bell's Coral Bell Indie Stamp Gang sitting over here to the side in case I decide to throw some pink in there, but I think I'm going to do it no pink. So I'm going to use a lot of that one. Okay, let it puddle down a little bit. And then again, I'm going to heat set this one and I'll come back when it's done. And in case I forgot to mention, when you are heat setting this, don't hold it obviously too close on one spot for too long because it's hot glue, so it will melt again. Okay, so that's what we have so far. The lighting is not showing it too well, but hopefully y'all will get the gist, and of course there'll be still pictures in the end. Now I'm going to go in with my Abominable Blue shimmers. This is much more pigmented, so I'm going to be really careful and not spray a ton of it everywhere because I really want this to show through a lot. Beautiful bluish green color. Okay, and now I'm going to heat set this one. And I'm also going to go in, while it's still wet, I'm not really worried about it right now, I'm going to spray a little bit more of the Opal Sea Oats on top of what I already had, just so it darkens it up a little bit. Okay, now I'm going to go in with, I guess I'll do my white first, some chalkboard white. And I'm going to save my black for last. Okay. Okay, and now we're going to go in with the black. And then usually while I have the black on there, I will spray on top of it with some white just to kind of make it spread out a little further. Or even just water. So it just kind of runs and doesn't puddle up in little blotchy spots. So like that. It's almost dry, and now I'm going to go in with a little bit of Perfect Pearls silver. I don't know what the name is. Maybe it's just Perfect Pearl. I don't know, y'all. Sorry, but these are so shimmery. The Perfect Pearls Power Ranger, super shimmery. And I really want this to be shimmer. It's iridescent, just silver shimmer, so it won't cover up any of those other sprays. Okay, so then I'm going to let this one dry, and you can already get an idea of what it's going to look like. Okay, y'all, the last thing I'm doing is I'm taking my what's it called here? Worn Jeans Chalk Edger by Prima. And I'm just going over the raised area so that they're all kind of uniformed and stand out a little bit from the rest of it. So I'm just going over all of it with that edger. And then this is your finished product. Very cool, very grungy. I mean, you can choose the colors you want. But this is a really good base for an altered book box. You can do anything you want to it from this point. Again, if you did want to use the metal foil tape like I did on the E, it's super easy. All you got to do is just cut little squares, different sizes, rectangles, everything. Place them down till the whole thing's covered up, and just use your finger to go in there. So anyway, I hope you guys like the tutorial, and if you have any suggestions on other tutorials that you would like me to do, let me know in the comments down below, because that is my goal this year, is to give more tutorials for y'all. And have a beautiful day.